put my first brother in jail in 1994. He didn't mind going to jail. He would say, Judge, why are you bothering me? I can go to jail. Just go ahead and do it. I don't want to deal with your probation conditions and your anger management, and I'm not going to talk to the guy that I hit and resolve it so I can not go to jail. I'll just do the year. We used to pick cotton. Now we are the cotton. We are the product in the system, in the paid prisons that they make money off of. And they count on you guys not being able to handle your emotions. So you go. Not over millions of dollars, not over the health and welfare of your wife and children. Some words. Every brother I sent to prison didn't know what the fight was about. All he knew is how he felt about it. I am my ego. I can't take that. I can't be disrespected. I need you to sit whatever nonsense happened today down, because it matters to me what happens to my people.
Yo, Shalom, Shalom. Yo, we are on Zion. I'm Azra Hayya.
I'm Mathanya.
I'm Makazawa. Shalom.
Man, Asa, Shalom.
Khan. Shalom. The water for joining us on TNT. Thorough and true. True and thorough. So like the clip that we just played is basically to reiterate what we was talking about last week. We need peace amongst our people. Like the judge was talking about. She said, brothers let their emotions get to them too much, and because of how you feel about something, you'll act on it too soon without thinking. And we can't be like that. That's what our brothers and sisters, we can't be that way. We have to start moving in a way that's more logical. You see what I'm saying? And we got to stop letting the ways of the world bring us down to the point where we acting on this stuff and we not moving in the spirit. All right.
We got a precept.
Come on, bring it out, King.
Let me get Proverbs 17:28. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because it's important, man. A lot of brothers and sisters have made bad decisions off emotions. They just could have let it be, walked away, held their tongue. You know what I'm saying? And some people, it done ended for them in jail or in the grave. You know, so it's highly important, man, that we, you know, be circumspect and, you know what I'm saying, weigh our options on things, man. Some stuff we can stand down on. Bring it out for me.
I got you. You said 17 and 12?
17:28.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 28. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is kind of wise. And he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding.
Shoot, everything don't need a response. Sometimes it's best to just hold your peace. You know, sometimes it's best to just hold your peace, man. That you gotta let folks have it sometimes, man. They want to win, let them win. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, that's the satisfaction they want. But what is it? What does that get? It just builds your ego. That's it.
Okay.
Right. So it says, even read that one more time.
It says, even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is kind of wise. And he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding.
Right, man. So a fool is kind of wise when he hold his peace, man. Right. And he who shutteth his lip is a man of understanding. So that's something that we all got to take into consideration when we moving through this course of life. Right. Are you?
Come. Let's go up to verse 17. It says, a friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. So if we know that amongst the children of Israel, we supposed to be brothers, we supposed to be friends, we supposed to love each other as ourselves. It says a friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity, meaning when you're going through things, that's what your brother is for. That's what your sister is for. You know what I'm saying? That's what your family is for. That's what just basically any other Israelite is for. to be there for you through adversity. And let's go down here to verse 21. It says, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. My bad. It's verse chapter 18, verse 21. I'm sorry. Lock in. Chapter 18, Proverbs 18 and 21. It says, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So everything that we say and do, we're gonna get judged for it. We got to keep that in mind when we're dealing with each other. We're not in the streets no more. You know, we basically we gotta perfect ourselves. Let me get one more precept in that year. Let's pull Matthew 5 and 48. Yo, shalom, family, shalom. Let's pull Matthew 5 and 48.
Con. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 48.
Mm-hmm.
Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
So we must perfect ourselves. We have to perfect ourselves as the days go on. We have to perfect ourselves. We have to become better. You know, the more we live, the more we study, the more we, say that the children of Israel, we have to make ourselves better, as often as possible. Increasing knowledge, increasing your character, increasing your behavior, increasing restraint. That's what religion means, restraint. This is our religion. This is our heritage, but this is our religion. This is our restraint. This is what teaches us restraint. God's law, statutes, and commandments, right? Are you? Y'all got anything? All right, Con. You had some, Asa?
Con, let me get Haggai 1 and verse 7.
Con. This is the book of Haggai, chapter 1 and verse 7. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, consider your ways.
Hey, that's a very, very plain verse there. You have to consider everything you do, because one thing that you may do at a given time can put you in a very compromising situation that you don't want to be found in. And the scriptures tell us when we be around the discreet to do what? Observe the times.
Mm-hmm. God.
Can we bring that out inside right? Because man, that's a good verse to kind of go along with what we're talking about. I can't think of what it said right this second.
It's Sirach 27 and verse 12.
Con.
All right, Con. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 27 and verse 12. If thou be among the indiscreet, observe the time, but be continually among men of understanding.
Hey man, it's important, man, because it goes along with what we always say, right? I tell brothers this all the time, man. If you don't feel the judgment of God, I know you don't give a damn about me.
Right.
Like I know this. I know you'll get over on me if you don't fear the repercussions of not obeying the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's why I say be around men of understanding. As I don't want to always say, man, shoot, they unpredictable, man. Someone that doesn't fear the Lord is truly unpredictable. You don't know what they'll do.
Right.
Because they don't live by the same moral compass and the same standards that you live by.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll do anything, man. Right? Read verse 13.
Verse 13. The discourse of fools is irksome, and their sport is in the wantonness of sin.
It's a sport for them to sin. It's a sport for them to break the laws of God. They're unpredictable. It's gonna worry you being around these type of people, man. They always gonna be talking BS talk. It's nothing of substance. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just want to go into that real quick. But I yield.
Let's get to this next video real quick. Y'all good?
Con.
All right, con.
He awakened and said he healed all his diseases. Let's try this.
So I want you to do 7 green apples. The apples is going to stretch the cells and get all the toxins out of the cells. We're going to do 1 stock of celery. This is going to remineralize your whole entire body. The celery sticks is going to give you all of the bile salts that you need. It's full of natural sodium. Use a pinch of cilantro. What cilantro is going to do is remove all of those different metals from the cells. You're going to use a handful of parsley so you can filtrate out properly. You're going to use only a ½ teaspoon of cayenne pepper. That's going to cleanse out the vasal. It's going to make sure it opens and dilates the artery walls and the vascular walls to help blood flow and pump very good. And you're going to use a thumb of ginger. Hold on. You got 2 cucumbers without the skin. That's going to help you hydrate more. And then a whole lemon.
Let's try it. Ooh, that cayenne is kicking. But it's not a bad tasting combination except for that burn, that cayenne.
So hey, family, hey, we gotta remember we gotta stay healthy, all right. I thought I was like, we gotta not only do we gotta keep in mind of obeying God's laws, statutes, and commandments, and He gave us dietary laws, right? But we also got to remember, there's ways to heal ourselves naturally. You know what I'm saying? And we have different ways to do that. So we got to look these type of healings and cures, natural cures up. And I seen that this is how he said, Yaki Awaken said he healed himself naturally by drinking that right there. All right, so let me go and pull that out.
Let me bring the precept out for you.
Come on, bring it out, Ken.
Hey, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 25. It reads, a cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and diet.
God, a cheerful and good heart will have care for his meat and diet. If you basically say a cheerful and good heart, meaning if you to keep you in good health, good spirits, you have to be, on top of what you take in, you have to be on top of that type of stuff, but if you don't care nothing for your body, it's going to show in your actions and how you deal. All right. Y'all got anything? Y'all good?
Yeah, man, that's also going into 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 16, man. You got to realize that your body is the temple of God, man. Like you can't put bad oil, bad spark plugs, you know what I'm saying? A rundown, broken belts and stuff like that on your vehicle, man. You gotta keep it refreshed with good fluids, man. It's the same thing with your body, man. You gotta take care of it. It's the temple. We can't smoke it out. We can't hotbox the body. You know what I'm saying? We just can't do it.
Right.
We can't excessively drink. You know what I'm saying? It's bad for your liver, bad for your kidneys. You know what I'm saying? So we got to keep those things in mind when we eat. We got to, eat stuff that give us energy, that bring life to us, man. You know what I'm saying? Fruits, vegetables, things like that. Not too much. You can't be eating hamburgers and hot dogs all day, man. Candy, right? You know what I'm saying? We got to be circumspect of those things. But I yield.
Y'all got anything?
Staying in Sirach 30, jump up to verse 14.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 14. Better is the poor being sound and strong of constitution than a rich man that is afflicted in his body.
So it is much, much better to be poor and to have a strong body than to be rich and to be sickly. Read on.
Verse 15. Health and good state of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth.
because there is nothing that you can spend or pay for that will ever compare to you having a strong body. Next verse.
Verse 16, there are no riches above a sound body, and no joy above the joy of the heart.
Hey, that's plain there. And there was one more that I wanted to get to.
Hey, shoot, we can read verse 17. It says, death is better than a bitter life or continual sickness.
Hey,
It's better that the Lord just call you home.
that's heavy there.
God.
It's very. And let me get Sirach 38 and verse 4.
Man, you gotta start at verse 1.
Yeah, really do. Yeah.
John, I got you. Let's book of Sirach, chapter 38 and verse 1. Honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which ye may have of him, for the Lord hath created him.
So during these on times, it wasn't no showing up to the to UAB. There wasn't no shots and no pills or anything. The actual physicians heal with herbs, fruits, vegetable diet, fasting. So honor someone who is skilled in this, that knows that the dandelion root is good for your asthma, that knows that the elderberry cures of colds, and also start to study things so that you may know how to heal your own self and to help someone else heal too. Read on.
God. Verse 2. For of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king.
But you also have to keep in mind that the healing comes from the Most High, because he is the one that had created the herbs. He is the one that had created fruits. He is the one that had imparted that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to the physician to help out you. And also know, as on with wisdom of on Solomon said, for it was neither herb nor mollifying plaster that restored them to health, but thy word, O Lord, which healeth all things.
That's right.
Read on.
Verse 3. The skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration.
Hey, because that is a very admirable trade there, being a healer. We also find out in the new Testament that there are certain gifts that we should so covet on, like the spirit of prophecy, the spirit of almsgiving, and the spirit of a healer and a miracle worker, helping someone get over some bad health. That is working a miracle. Read on.
Verse 4. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise would not abhor them.
And if you are wise, you will start to look into these herbs and these fruits and these berries and these things that can heal you. If it's one thing I would recommend, hawthorn berry. That is good for your for your heart. That is good for anything with your cardiovascular system. And to be real, we do not have the same wind as our forefathers did, that would walk everywhere, that would work with the hands every day. So this is something that we can start taking now that can help us there. and also black seed oil. That there is a cure all for many ailments. But also do your own research there and consult with your own doctor too, because if you are taking certain medicines now, you don't want them to conflict there. And
Come on, let's go down to verse 9. It says,
I was about to say that.
it said, my son, in thy sickness be not negligent, but pray unto the Lord, and he will make thee whole. Verse 10, leave off from sin, and order thy hands aright, and cleanse thy heart from all wickedness. See what I'm saying? Watch this. We're going to keep going. So the Most High basically telling, he says, stay away from sin. Sin gonna get you sick. Sin gonna have you sick.
Right.
But hey, when we get down to this verse 16, it's gonna tell you. It says, verse 13, there is a time when in their hands there is good success, for they shall also pray unto the Lord that he will prosper that which they give for ease and remedy to prolong life. The Most High prolongs our life, right? Verse 15, he that sinneth before his maker, let him fall into the hand of the physician. I meant to say verse 15, because when you sin it, Most High is gonna send you to the doctor.
Hey, for real.
He gonna have you sick, messed up. You gonna have all type of ailments because you wicked as hell. You see what I'm saying? That precept right there, funny as it. For real. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. We gotta take care of our bodies. Like verse, I think it was verse 9. My son, in thy sickness, be not negligent. Be not negligent. It says, but pray unto the Lord, and he will make thee whole. But prior to that, it's telling us to take advantage of the physician. And just like Asa was saying, if you know that there's a brother or sister that has knowledge on these different herbs and all that, you know what I'm saying, and you know you sick, talk to them. Let them point out some things that you need to take. You know what I'm saying? Don't put 100% trust in man-made drugs. You know what I'm saying? Put trust in what God gave us as food to be our medicine. You know what I'm saying? They here for a reason because they make them drugs from the foods, from the vegetables, from the herbs, but they add all this other stuff to them. You get what I'm saying? Y'all got anything? All right, come. All right.
And all the cults and all the world religions, they always gave some credit to Jesus Christ. The Muslims say that he was a prophet. The Christians say that he was an incarnation of the Godhead in his age. Yogananda and all these different Eastern teachers said that he had Christ consciousness. You know, they always use words like Christ consciousness, Christ this, Jesus that. The Buddhists would even say he was a Buddha. You know, he was another incarnation of God like Buddha was. And in all my searchings, I saw that all these people were pointing to Jesus. They're going, well, yeah, Jesus is one of the ways, but we're one of the ways. And they wouldn't all agree on anything except that Jesus was one of the ways. And then I looked into the Bible. I did this all through intellectual reasoning and laid it out on the table and figured it out that if they all gave him credit and he only gave himself credit and they all agreed on one thing, that he was one of the ways, and he only agreed that he was the only way. So I figured I had no choice but to go with him. And then I started praying to Jesus.
You thought you were praying to Jesus. But at the end of the day, I had to play that because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, that's just confirming that everybody know about our Messiah. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to include our Messiah on what they be talking about. But Isaiah 34:16 says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. We're not including them. We're not including them in on ours, though. You know what I'm saying? But back to this food situation.
Yes, sir. University of California, Riverside has already perfected the ability to put human vaccines into our lettuce right now. Also tomatoes has the ability to do that also for UC Berkeley. And then Big Tobacco, RJ Reynolds and stuff has perfected the ability to put a human vaccine into tobacco products.
So they putting vaccines in the food. See these wicked devils. See who we dealing with. They got to mess with our food, and we got to go to them. This is a curse. We got to go to them for all things. This is a curse. And look at what these devils are doing to the food. Even if they was under us, if we was put like this, if they was under us or was under another group of people, this ain't how everybody else moving. Only these devils would move like this. Ain't nobody else in the world moving like this with the food.
Right.
The foods in America is banned everywhere.
Yep.
Ain't nobody messing with the food. You see what I'm saying? But look at who we under.
Chairman Clements.
And is that even legal to do in the state of Tennessee, to sell those with a vaccine in them?
You recognize?
Well, I'm not arguing that point. What I'm saying is there is no law deeming those that when you go into a grocery store, you should know as a consumer, this head of lettuce is a head of lettuce. The head of lettuce right next to it could contain a vaccine in it. All we're saying is if it does have the vaccine in it, make sure it's listed as a pharmaceutical so people can get the proper dosage.
My question is right now, can you walk into a grocery store and there be a head of lettuce for sale that has a vaccine in it? I don't think that's allowed under state law presently. And if it is, and you have to list it as a pharmaceutical, are we going to then have Walgreens pharmacists with a refrigerated section? I mean, how's this going to play out?
You recognize?
Thank you. This is more of a consumer protection bill right here, is to make sure that if you're going in to buy tomatoes and there's a polio vaccine in there, that you are aware of what you're buying has a polio vaccine. The problem you have is if it's not treated as a pharmaceutical, being the size and difference between you and me, how many tomatoes do I have to eat to get the proper dosage versus how many tomatoes that you have to eat? And if you eat too many, do you get a overdose? If you eat too less, like we had in the cattle industry with aeromycin, we weren't dosing our cattle.
You hear how ain't none of that make no sense? Why put it in the food in the first place?
This stuff they brought the ground.
Right.
Like what it already got nutrients and and things like that that's supposed to be beneficial to us. Like, what do we need a vaccine? You know what I'm saying? In our fruits and vegetables.
So they can put some other stuff in there. You know what I'm saying?
And somebody give me Job 9:24 real quick, man. All right, because these people are the devil the Bible speaks of, man. The doggone devil the Bible speaks of. Only a devil would do something like this, man.
Evil. This book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
Somebody else give me Ezekiel 4:13. But yeah, man, so the scriptures say the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, man. Only the wicked would put harmful vaccines in your food, man. Right? Only the wicked would do that. Like I don't want was just saying, the foods here in America are banned in other places because the America is so wicked. It's all business for them. They don't care about your well-being, right? So the individuals that's over the food and stuff, they in bed with the pharmaceutical companies because they want to get you sick, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's truly what it comes down to. It's all about money and greed, right? They don't care about your life.
Right.
The same people, right, that's over the production of the food is dealing directly with the people that's over the pharmaceutical companies that's going to prescribe you that medication.
Mm-hmm.
These are devils, man, right? Somebody give me that in Ezekiel 4:13.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 4 and verse 13. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whether I will drive them.
So the Lord already prophesied that, the food was going to be defiled amongst the Gentiles, man. Right? And that's where we're at. We've been driven out here amongst the Gentiles, right, through slavery, and we're eating this defiled food, man. We got to pray over this food, man. Right? Just pray that it be the nourishment that we need because it's defiled, man. It's not real. Mm-hmm. Like I was talking to, I can't even remember who I was talking to earlier, man, but it's not a mystery that hardly none of our fruits have seeds, man. Mm-hmm. Right. None of them. Right? So these are the things that we got to even give to our children. right? You know what I'm saying? But this place is wicked, man. I yield.
Let's pull a song of the Three Holy Children, chapter 1, verse 9. Well, verse 9. Yeah, we dealing with devils. That's what we dealing with. We dealing with devils. At the end of the day, all this is just refreshing your memory, just in case you start to get a little lackadaisy and relax and start thinking that you at home.
Mm-hmm.
We're not at home. Every week that we do these classes, every weekend we get out there and teach the word. It's a reminder that we not at home. We trying to go back home. Just like any other time we went in captivity, sooner or later we went back home. And that's what we're trying to do. You are not at home. All this is going to come to an end. We are under the devil in physical form.
Mm.
That's what we got to keep reminding our people, because we get relaxed. And the last video we're going to play is going to show how people get relaxed, which is based on the title of the class, or which the title of the class is based on. Right now, it's sifting season. Around the time of Passover, it's sifting season. People start leaving the truth. And if that's what you want to do, listen. Yeah, hey, you can have the Most High blow your candle, slap on out. You see what I'm saying?
What the Most High gonna do?
For real. You have blow your candle, I'll blow your candle, slap on out.
God.
Right? Let's bring that out real quick. Song of Three Holy Children.
What verse you want, Adam?
Verse 9.
Okay. Well, the song of the Three Holy Children, verse 9. And now we cannot open our mouths. We are become a shame and reproach to thy servants. And to them.
What verse you on?
Verse 9. Chapter.
Song of the Three Holy Children, verse 9.
Yeah,
and thou didst deliver.
Thou didst deliver.
That's 8.
Oh, verse 8. It's like it. And thou didst deliver us unto the hands of the lawless enemies.
That's crazy.
Most hateful, forsakers of the Most High, and to an unjust king, and the most wicked in all the world.
It said we got delivered to the most wicked in all the world. While y'all trying to save these heathen. It said the most wicked in all the world. That's who we under right now. And our people still trying to save these devils.
Right.
There is no salvation for these heathens. They putting vaccines in the food. Leave the food alone, man. God dang. You can't get away from these devils, man. God dang. Y'all got anything?
Shoot, man. Just to add on there, the food is getting way worse, and the price is going way up.
Right. Right.
These are those.
This food contaminated, man.
Facts.
All right. Let's move on to this next clip. All right. So in this next clip, I want y'all, and I'm talking to everybody watching, I want y'all to think of some precepts or some laws that's being broken in this clip, or some laws that pertain to what's going on in this clip. All right.
Brian Banks' ordeal was marked by tears after a judge threw out the rape charge that had sent him to prison for more than 5 years.
My only dream in the world was to just be free and to have the same opportunity as everybody here.
He was a 16-year-old star linebacker with a full-ride scholarship to USC and a dream to play in the NFL, when in 2002, a classmate accused Banks of raping her in the stairwell of their Long Beach high school. Although Banks insisted it was consensual and there was no sex, he told KCBS TV that his defense attorney at the time gave him a choice: plead no contest to rape, or risk a trial that could send him to prison for life.
When you go into that courtroom, the jury is going to see a big black teenager, and you're automatically going to be assumed guilty. Those are her exact words.
He took the deal, went to prison, and had to register as a sex offender. He thought that was the end of it. But after he was released, came a surprise. A friend request on Facebook from his accuser, Juanetta Gibson.
I remember closing the laptop just like real quick and just like thinking like, what did I just see?
So Banks arranged a meeting with a private investigator who videotaped the whole thing. Gibson later explained she hadn't wanted to say that publicly for fear of losing a $1.5 million settlement that her family had gotten after suing the school district.
I may not ever get the answers as to why I was supposed to go through what I went through, but I know that I'm here today and I remain unbroken.
Unbroken and working to get his life back on track. Those dreams of playing in the NFL, he says, might be realized yet. Lee Cowan, CBS News, Los Angeles.
It's granted.
Yeah, y'all see that? This girl done lied on the man, got the man locked up for 5 years. You see what I'm saying? Got him locked up for 5 years for something that he didn't do. And she got a $1.5 million lawsuit against the school and won. She got $1.5 million out the deal while he locked her behind bars. All right, so we got Sister Michelle Watkins brought Exodus 20 and 16. Let's bring it out real quick. Exodus 20 and 16. Y'all bring your precepts, man. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 16. It says, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. See, it's important that we do go over these laws. That was the purpose of this video. It's important that we do go over these laws. We need to edify our people on the different laws. You see what I'm saying? Because we know we Israelites. We know we got to keep the laws, but we don't know what the laws are. Right. So we need to start bringing out stuff like this to start talking about these laws. So it said, thou should not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Right. Quit lying, saying you was there and you wasn't there. Quit lying on your neighbor. Quit. You know what I'm saying? This is a law, right? Y'all got anything else?
Let me get Isaiah 42 and verse 22.
Isaiah 42.
And 22.
So good.
You got again? Connor. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42, and verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith, restore.
Hey, this brother was preyed on. Straight preyed on. She had seen that he was going to the NFL, going to college, and she saw a meal, and she took it. Right. We are a people robbed and spoiled to this very day. You have a innocent man locked up for 5 years. 5 years that he will never get back. And there's no telling what type of hell that man went.
Right. I think the brother
just
man
someone lied on. So like,
yeah, you had went out a little bit, you know what I'm saying, but you back, King.
Okay, Con. Yeah, man, just wrapping up there. Stop lying. Stop lying on brothers. Brothers, stop lying on sisters. This is sickening. That's 5 years gone that he will never get back because of a lie. But yet we always hear, but lead when women. This is crap here. Not you.
Come. Sister brought out Proverbs 19 and 5. Let's bring it out real quick. You had something?
Yeah, we get the sisters first.
All right. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 19 and verse 5. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall not escape. So it said a false witness will not be unpunished. Yo, Shalom,
Shalom.
Shalom. And that goes into the precept I was gonna bring up, but I'm gonna let you do your thing, King. We're gonna come back to that precept.
You sure we already here? All
right, come. Let's go to Deuteronomy 22. Deuteronomy 22 in verse 25. Because this is actually talking about, you know what I'm saying, what they was dealing with. So Deuteronomy 22 and verse 25, it says, but if a man find a betrothed, not 25, verse 26. But unto the damsel, hold on, I'm sorry, it's a lock here. It is verse 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die. So it's basically saying if he force her, you know what I'm saying? If he are her, you know what I'm saying? All right, verse 26. But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man rises against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter. For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her. So this is basically talking about if that brother really did what he did, that's the law for that, right? All right, but it doesn't. You don't see a law where it says if a woman lie and say that a man did that. Why don't you see that? Because back in them days, we got the proof who took her virginity, and you gave the tokens of virginity to the parents. You see what I'm saying? She can't lie and say, yeah, he slept with me. You know what I'm saying? So we had different laws for that. But then I said back in Proverbs 19:5, a false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall not escape. So if there was to occur, if a sister was to try that back in those days, best believe she was gonna get punished. Oh, yeah. Best believe she was gonna get the business. See, this right here can happen in America because America caters to the woman. Right. You see what I'm saying? They didn't have no evidence that brother did that. They just locked him up. And he said that the lawyer said because he was a big black man, they locked him up.
In front of probably was an all-white jury, probably.
Exactly. That can only fly here in America. That was not gonna fly in our land. Right? Go ahead, Ken. You had something?
Yeah, let me get Zechariah 8 and 17. Right? Zechariah 8 and verse 17. Matter of fact, start at verse 16. Right, because we talking about the spirit of lying, man. And as Brother Dexter brought out, you know, he said that's why the Most High said there will be no liars in the kingdom of heaven, right? Mm-hmm. Because the Most High hates liars, man. Right, and that's true, man. You know, you can't trust a liar, man. You just can't. I'm supposed to trust and be around, and I don't know if you telling me the truth. It's truly that simple, man. Let me get that in Zechariah 8 and verse 16.
Okay. It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 8 and verse 16. These are the things that ye shall do. Speak ye every man the truth to his neighbor, and execute judgment of truth and peace in your gates.
Right. So, man, the Lord wants us to be moving in the spirit, you know, to tell the truth one to another, man. We can't be lying one to another. As the brother just brought out, the Lord hates liars, man. Mm-hmm. Right? You can't be around a liar, man. You can't. As we just was talking about earlier, they're unpredictable. Mm-hmm. They're unpredictable, man. You don't know what you're dealing with a liar, right? Read that in verse 17.
Verse 17. And let none of you imagine evil in your hearts against his neighbor, and love no false oath. For all these are things that I hate, saith the Most High.
That sister, I want to say that's a sister. I want to say. I couldn't really tell, but we gonna go with it that it may have been a sister. It says, let that sister imagine an evil thing in her heart. All for gain, all for money. Man, the Lord will wipe her out, and she can't do nothing with that money. That's what we dealing with. That's what type of a power that we dealing with, man.
Right.
Then came up off greed and a lie. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord say He hates that, man. Right? I yield.
We go to Revelation 22 and 14.
The sister gotta go to 3 steps too. Shalom.
Shalom,
Brother,
King.
your Bible was saying.
Shalom, King. Revelation 22 and verse 14.
You grab it. Okay. You got Maka's what?
Kind of. Book of Revelations, chapter 22 and verse 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have the right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city.
Keep going.
For without are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and adulterers and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie.
That's who's gonna be outside the gates. Liars. Whosoever loveth and maketh a lie gonna be outside the gates. Right.
Let's get the chapter before and give verse 8.
The book of Revelation, chapter 21 and verse 8. But the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
Yeah, the liars just not gonna make it.
They're not gonna make it.
It's just not gonna make it.
What?
No, that was it.
All right. Sister brought a couple more precepts. Let's get 1 John 2 and 4. First John chapter 2 and verse 4. It says, he that saith, I know him and keepeth not his commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in him.
Right.
It's the main law broken in what we just saw was telling a bold-faced lie, bearing false witness. That's the main law that was broken. All right. We're gonna try to bring out more videos where we can point out these laws that are being broken. You know, it may be multiple laws in each video, right? All right. What else is? Let's get it. She got Ephesians 4 and 25. Let's pull that. This book of Ephesians chapter 4 verse 25. Wherefore putting away lying, speak every man truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of another. Once again, put away lying. In this video, like I said, in this video we just watched, she told a bold-faced lie. So that's the law that is broken. Now, like I said, the title of the class is this is sifting season, right? And we just wanted to address a couple things. Like I said, people around this time, people leave the truth every year. Those of us that have been in the truth for a while, we know we've seen it every year. People leave the truth around this time, and they all got different excuses or whatever. But you know, that's your business. You know, once your calendar gone. But here's a sister right here that's kind of that's talking about the same thing. But let's see what she's talking about real quick.
Teachings of the Hebrew Israelite camps and teachings are leading Jesus' sheep astray. Number one, it also kind of depends on the camp you go to, but I considered myself like an individualite, as a lot of people would call it. Like I was like a Hebrew Israelite that didn't really subscribe to a camp, but in my last like days of being a Hebrew Israelite, I was going to IUIC. But one thing is that they barely read the New Testament. And as you guys obviously know, salvation is only when accepting Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. But when all of these Hebrew Israelite camps taught, it was just basically about the book of Moses. It was just about Leviticus, Deuteronomy, and just like a lot of laws, right? They didn't focus on the relationship with Jesus. They rather focused on following the law. It was really fear-based. But yeah, 3, they read a lot of the scriptures out of context. They would always say, read the scriptures in context. But it's funny because God pulled me out of the Hebrew Israelite ideology when my friend had sent me a scripture and was like, check this out. I took it offensively because I'm like, sis, why are you openly rebuking me? It was specifically this one. It was like, I mean, why do you follow the rules? Like, don't eat this, don't taste that, don't touch that. These rules are talking about earthly things that are gone after their use. They're only human commands and teachings. As a Hebrew Israelite, they probably would have been like, oh, they're actually talking about the people that aren't grafted in. The Hebrew Israelite teaching probably would have found a way to spin that to like not include Gentiles. But when I was reading it, the Holy Spirit convicted me. He put it on my spirit, and I read it in the context of Colossians condemning people like me, aka at the time the Hebrew Israelites, saying, don't eat this, don't touch that, da, da, da. And I was like, dang, have I been reading the Bible in context wrong this whole time?
All right, look, let's go back to the beginning real quick. Because see, don't find yourself being this sister right here. It's always the people that lead the truth are the ones that don't have no understanding, or they trying to save, they trying to go back to their old habits and go back to smashing on white girls and stuff. You see what I'm saying? Don't find yourself in this person's shoes. Because this sister ain't got no understanding. She about to get her behind cut. So look, let's start from the beginning real quick, right? I'm gonna point something out real fast.
The teachings of the Hebrew Israelite camps and teachings are leading Jesus' sheep astray.
So she said the camps is leading Jesus' sheep astray. Okay, family. Who are the sheep? Who are the sheep? Matter of fact, let's pull Matthew 15:24 first and foremost. Matthew 15:24.
God, it's the book of Matthew, chapter 15 and verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Who is the sheep? Israel is the sheep. Israel is the sheep. She said Hebrew Israelite camps are leading Israel astray. Girl, you ain't making no goddamn sense. You ain't making no sense. Right? How do we receive salvation? By keeping God's commandments, right? That's how we receive salvation, right? By keeping God's commandments, right? Watch this. And faith in Christ, of course.
Number one, it also kind of depends on the camp you go to, but I considered myself like an individualite, as a lot of people would call it. Like I was like a Hebrew Israelite that didn't really subscribe to a camp, but in my last like days of being a Hebrew Israelite, I was going to IUIC. But one thing is that they barely read the New Testament. And as you guys obviously know, salvation.
What we just read from? What we just read from? We just read from the New Testament.
Just saying stuff.
She don't know what she talking about, man. She said they barely read the New Testament, but what do we read?
Salvation is only when accepting Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. But when all of these Hebrew Israelite camps taught, it was just basically about the book of Moses.
She talking about the law, statutes, and commandments She said when they taught, they read mostly the book of Moses.
It was just about Leviticus, Deuteronomy.
What do you find in Leviticus and Deuteronomy? The laws of God. The laws of God. We just read in Revelation 22 and 14. Revelation 22 and 14. Can you read it for me?
Yes, Salaki. Khan. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 22 and verse 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city.
Come, blessed are they that keep his commandments, which is the same laws in Leviticus and Deuteronomy that she's talking about. Yeah, they read out of the book of Moses for some reason, because you ain't got no understanding. We got to get back to God's laws just so we can get up out of here. We broke his laws, which is the reason why we got the curses on us now, and the reason why we went into captivity. Yo dumb behind, too busy thinking you know something, and you don't know what you're talking about. Obviously, you don't read the Bible. Don't find yourself being this person in sifting season. Because right now in sifting season, don't find yourself falling straight like this person right here and be in sifting season, jack up with your candle, blow, slap out. Why are they reading in the Deuteronomy and Leviticus? Because that's where the laws are. Dummy. Right? Y'all let me know y'all want to jump in there.
Salaki. Let me get Isaiah 8 and 20, right? Because we supposed to go back to the law. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to go back, right, to the Torah to see how we supposed to conduct ourselves in this life. This is our moral compass, man. And notice, I also want y'all to notice that she said that she was an individual, like, meaning she wasn't gathering as the Lord told her to. We supposed to gather with brothers and sisters and be joyful, right? How you an individual? That's why Lord,
she don't know nothing.
Right. That's why the Lord done sifted her out this thing. Can somebody else give me 2nd Ezra 8 and 41, and somebody else give me Mark 4. But bring it down in Isaiah 8 and 20.
This book of Isaiah chapter 8 and verse 20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them.
Because it's not no light in their sister. Their sister think that she is following Christ, but Christ kept the laws of God. Christ was quoting the book of Moses that she's talking about. But they stayed in the book of Moses. We supposed to.
What the laws at?
That's what the laws at. Sister bugged out of mind, man, and she done went into complete darkness, man. Right. That's what this is. And again, this is the time of year that people start getting sifted out this thing for real, man. Right. It's people contemplating on I don't know if I'm gonna go to Passover this year. What do you mean?
Stupid.
This is not even an option.
Right.
You know, like, well, I might go next year. You may go. Well, I'm going. Yeah. Somebody give me that in the 2nd Ezra.
This book was 2nd Ezra chapter 8 and verse 41. For as the husbandman soweth much seed upon the ground and planteth many trees, and yet the thing that is sown good in his season cometh not up, neither doth all that is planted take root. Even so is it of them that are sown in the world. They shall not all be saved.
It's important what's being stated right here by Ezra. You know what I'm saying? The husbandman is sowing many seeds. That's the men of the Lord that's out there teaching this word, right? That's our sisters that's out there sowing the word as well. So the word is going out and it's being sown, right? That's the parable as well in Mark 4, right? And you know what I'm saying? Some be doing good in season, but some of them are sown, they're gonna be sown just for destruction,
right?
And then she coming against brothers and sisters that's really out here trying to you know what I'm saying, fish our people out of this world. Like, I don't understand people when they have a problem with what we doing. We trying to teach our people morals, and you got a problem with that?
Right.
You got a problem with our people living like kings instead of living like niggas.
Yeah.
We better than that. We a nation of kings and priests. We got to start conducting ourselves like that. But these people want us to stay in a docile state, man.
Yeah.
Not knowing nothing, being negligent. No, we better than that, man. Right? Somebody bring it out for me in Mark 4.
Copy.
Start at the top. Start at the top, bro.
Okay. It's the book of Mark, chapter 4 and verse 1. And he began again to teach by the seaside, and there was gathered unto him a great multitude, so that he entered into a ship and sat in the sea, and the whole multitude was by the sea on the land. And he taught them many things by parables, and said unto them in his doctrine, hearken, be to sow.
There went out a sower to sow. Right? Read on.
And it came to pass, as he sowed, some fell by the wayside, and the fowls of the air came and devoured it up.
Hey, some fell by the wayside, man. And that's what we seeing. We seeing some that's gonna fall by the wayside. We gotta continue to pray to the Lord that He keep us in the spirit, man. I've seen some people that have been laboring heavy, and now they don't believe no more, man. And the thing about it, if you think the Lord needs you, you're sadly mistaken, man. The Lord will make these prophecies and things come to pass with or without you. He doesn't need you. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing that the Most High chose us out of this world, when we still could be reading on the paper that Leviticus 11:7, you shall not eat no pork nor touch it, but we still think we can. It's right there, it's plain.
Right.
But we still think that we can do it. Right? Read on in that.
Verse 5. And some fell on stony ground, where it had not much earth, and immediately it sprang up, because it had no depth of the earth.
Right, because it had no depth. Right, read.
But when the sun was up, it was scorched, and because it had no root, it withered away.
Another one that went by the wayside. Right? This one didn't have no root. The other one went by the wayside. So both of them were devoured. Right? Read.
Verse 7. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it, and it yielded no fruit.
Right. So this is talking about the 4 types of Israelites, man.
That's right.
Right. Some is gonna be around some thorns. Those thorns are the people in the world, man.
Yeah.
You around some people in this world that's gonna have you going back and living in the world. That's your environment. That's why the Lord said in 2 Corinthians chapter 6, be ye separate.
That's right.
What fellowship have righteousness with unrighteous? Right? You got to get from around people that got them thorns in their side, man. They got thorns in them that's going to prevent you from being who Christ and who the Most High needs you to be. Right? Read on.
Verse 8. And other fell on good ground.
What the Lord say?
And other fell on good ground.
You gotta have that good ground. You gotta have that good foundation. That fertile soil. Right? You gotta always be seeking. Right? Read on.
It did yield fruit that sprang up and increased, and brought forth some 30, and some 60, and some 100.
All praise to the Most High. You got some people that's gonna bring forth some fruit in this thing, man. That's gonna bring others to the Lord. That's gonna show them Christ. She thinks she teaching Christ right now. No, you're not. You teaching Satan. You You teaching the opposite of Christ because Christ was reading the laws of God. He was reading the prophets, talking about they always in the Old Testament. Why you think the scriptures say meditate day and night? We supposed to be meditating on the laws of God.
Mm-hmm.
This sister bugged out of mine, but I yield with that.
Let me grab Esdras 9 and verse 11.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 11. And they that have loathed my law, while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it.
There are people that hate the laws of God.
Right.
They got all the time, all the freedom, all the everything in this world to get right now, but they hate order. They hate correction. They hate living by what the Lord set out for us, and they rather seek their own way. Read on.
The same must know it after death by pain.
And these same people are going to know it by death, by pain.
Mm-hmm.
If you got any problems with brothers and sisters going in the law, in the foundations, in the milk, you ain't going to make it. This is our starting point. This is what everything is built on.
Right.
This is where you get your fundamental teaching at. If you hate the law, you hate God.
That's right.
Not you.
Come on. All right, let's keep moving. Let's see.
And just like a lot of laws, right? Two, they didn't focus on the relationship with Jesus. They rather focused on following the law. It was really fear-based.
We just read it in 1 John 2. She said, we'd rather focus on the law instead of a relationship with Christ. You a liar and the truth ain't in you if you say that you know God and you ain't keeping God's commandments. We just read this. This lets you know, don't be this sister. Don't be this sister. And we talking to brothers too. Don't be this sister. Talking about with that mentality. Right?
Man,
but yeah, 3.
Hey, hold on, real quick. She had said that it was all fear-based. What is serving God? It's fear-based. Man, pull on Psalms 1:11 and verse 10.
Teach her.
Goodness gracious. It is some real deal fools in this world that have had the opportunity to learn, the opportunity to grow, and they just said, nah, I'm cool on it. This is madness.
Mm-hmm.
Read out.
Okay. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 111 and verse 10. And it reads, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endureth forever.
So she has a problem with a fear-based teaching.
And the fear of the Lord.
Read that one more time.
The book of Psalms, chapter 111 and verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise.
Read on. I'm sorry about that.
His praise endureth forever.
Yes, it does. Fear is the basis of your wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
That is the basis. That's the foundation. And you got a problem with fear.
Yeah. She don't know
but I bet you gonna fear all that fire and all that brimstone when the end all be all come,
Teach
I
all.
bet you gonna be fearing then. You gonna be screaming, Jesus save me, Lord save me. But he already said, fear me. Now you.
Come on, let me bring one more precept. Sorry, and then we're gonna get some precept. Isaiah 33 and 6. It says,
hold on, we'll get it.
Okay.
Come. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 33 and verse 6. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness.
Was it? That's 35.
Nah, you're going wrong verse.
Salakia. My bad. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 33 and verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. And strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
The fear of the Lord is his treasure. See, it says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. The wisdom and knowledge is what? These scriptures, keeping God's commandments, learning these laws. That's your wisdom and knowledge. It says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. All that is the fear of the Lord is what it's saying. If you fear God, this is how you're finna be moving. You're finna be studying Deuteronomy, Leviticus, where the laws are. You're finna be studying the Torah. What did Yahushua teach out of? The so-called Old Testament. Come on now. Our people sleep. All right. Let's bring out that precept that Saul had brought out. What was Proverbs 27? It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Only a fool.
Only a fool.
Listen, don't beat his sister right here, man. This sister is making a fool of herself, man. Do not beat his sister and think that you know more than what's coming out right now. And they all want to point the finger like we the problem, and you don't know what you're talking about, right? But that's what you get when you, like she said, the individual life.
Yeah, man. It's so important, man. And I was talking about this with one of my brothers yesterday, man. Congregate, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it on your own. I know I can't. You know what I'm saying? I'd be back in the world if it wasn't for, you know what I'm saying, everybody I got around me hold me accountable. You know what I'm saying? Having to go teach, you know what I'm saying? Do this, that, and the third. Confessing my faults to my brothers, so on and so forth, man. That's what you need, man. That's what's your brother's gonna pray for you as you confess to one to another. That's James 5 and 16, man. But we gotta gather together. We gotta gather. Can't be no individual life. Right? But I yield.
Come on. All right. Let's see.
You had something?
Yes, sir.
No.
They read a lot of the scriptures out of context. They would always say, read the scriptures in context. But it's funny because God pulled me out of the Hebrew Israelite ideology when my friend had sent me a scripture and was like, check this out. I took it offensive.
Before we continue, she said God brought her out the Hebrew Israelite. Everything is preordained by the Most High God, right? But let me pull Galatians 1 and is it 1 and 6, 1 and 8? It says, but though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed. This sister is accursed because she said God brought her out. Or God came to her and told her to leave the doctrine of the Hebrew Israelites. That's a devil that spoke to you. That's a devil that spoke to you.
Right.
It says, let them be accursed if they come with any other doctrine. The doctrine we teaching is to love your neighbor as yourself, keeping God's commandments. That's the doctrine we teaching, and to have faith in Christ. They say camp doctrine. No, this is God's doctrine.
what's wrong with teaching your brother to not sleep with another brother's wife?
Man, they delusional, man. They are delusional, bro.
To keep the Sabbath day.
Honor your father and mother.
Honor your father and mother. Don't steal. Don't kill. Don't have no other gods before the Most High. Don't be a witch.
Right.
You can't rape sisters and brothers. You can't be a homo. What is wrong with this? Matter of fact, give me Isaiah 5:20, man. This is what's wrong with it right here. This society is wicked as hell, man. That's what's wrong with it. And this sister wants to just be wicked. That's what she's really trying to say in the words that I'm wicked as hell.
Right.
Right? And I don't want to live by any standards, any rules. I don't want to have morals. I want to do what the hell I want to do. And that's why I'm not a part of those Black Hebrew Israelites anymore.
Right.
That's what she's basically saying in all those words. Mm-hmm. Right? Read that for me. Isaiah 5:20.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 5 and verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil.
So the sister is calling the laws of God evil.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's basically what she's doing. It's bad to keep going over the laws. Mm-hmm. Is that what Nehemiah said? Is that what Joshua said?
Nah.
Is that what Moses said? Is that what Isaiah said? That we need to stay out of the book of Moses. Is that what our Lord said? Yahweh? Even their favorite teacher, is that what Paul said? What'd you say with King Salaki?
So I was saying that Christ said to keep the commandments if you want to make it to the kingdom. And then Paul said that the commandments are holy, just, and good.
And good, man.
Mm-hmm.
And this is saying calling evil good and good evil.
God, this sister wicked as hell, man. But I yield with that. That's all I had.
God, let me get a precept. Okay.
What you want, King?
Let me get John. Let me get John 5:46 and 47.
God, it's the book of John, chapter 5 and verse 46. It reads, "For had ye believed Moses, ye would have believed me, for he wrote of me."
Who he wrote of?
For he wrote of me.
Read the next verse.
Read
the next verse, King.
But if you believe not his writings, how shall ye believe my words?
Mm-hmm. They sound like them brothers that was reading the laws of Moses was right where they needed to be.
That's a good cut. Good cut.
Teacher, good teacher.
Let's get some more of that.
Offensively, because I'm like, sis, why are you openly rebuking me? It was specifically this one. It was like, why do you follow the rules? Like, don't eat this, don't taste that, don't touch that. These rules are talking about earthly things that are gone after they're used. They're only human commands and teachings. As a Hebrew Israelite, they probably would have been like, oh, they're actually talking about the people that aren't grafted in. The Hebrew Israelite teaching probably would have. These rules are talking about earthly things.
So this verse that she said, God brought her out, the Hebrew Israelite doctrine, and because somebody sent her this verse right here. This verse that she's talking about is in Colossians. Let's go there real quick. It's Colossians chapter 2. All right, so I think what she's reading is the NIV version, 2 and verse 20. The NIV version, it says, "You died with Christ and were made free." Let me pull it up real quick because I can't see it over all that. Colossians 2 and 20, NIV.
I got you.
All right, come.
So this is the book of Colossians, right? Chapter 2 in verse 20 in the NIV. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it reads, since you died with Christ to the elemental.
It ain't NIV. It must be another one.
I can
see.
search.
Let me see. Colossians 2:20. I'm looking at Bible
Hub. You have died with Christ. She probably read.
And he has sent you.
The CEV. Oh yeah, I found it.
All right.
It's the NLT.
Nah, that ain't it. I thought it was a CEV, but
it's let's see.
The CEV kind of read like that. If you want me to read it,
yeah, you can read it.
But if you may find it.
You died. So you died.
What's that?
You died with Christ. Another foot.
No, that's the CEV that I'm talking about.
Oh, that's the Good News translation, I think. No, it ain't. Anyway, this first part, it's just the first few words. You died with Christ and were made free from the something influence this world. So why now? This is the important part right here. It says, so why do you act as if you still belong to the world? I mean, why do you follow rules like these? Don't eat this. Don't taste that. Don't touch that. Right? It says, verse 22. These rules are talking about earthly things that are gone after they are used. They are only human commands and teachings. So she's saying this is what basically showed her that she been doing it all wrong, because it says don't eat this, don't taste that, right? Because we're gonna continue on this, but this is her response to that.
That are gone after their use. They're only human commands and teachings. As a Hebrew Israelite, they probably would have been like, oh.
Okay, so basically she's saying, don't eat this, don't eat pork, don't touch that. So she's looking at it like, okay, this is what the Hebrew Israelites telling me to do. This is what they teach me, right? So let's read it in the King James Version, Colossians 2:20. Let's read it in the King James Version, because actually the King James Version is simpler to understand.
Come. So this is Colossians chapter 2 in verse 20. It reads, wherefore if ye be dead with Christ from the rudiments of the world.
Stop right there. It says, if you be dead with Christ from the rudiments of the world, meaning if you have given your life to Christ by keeping God's commandments and you got faith in Christ and you're from the rudiments of the world, meaning the rudiments of the world ain't bothering you no more because you have left the world, right? You're dead in Christ, which means you've left living worldly, right? Keep going.
Why, as though living in the world, are ye subject to ordinances?
It said, why, though you living in the world, are you subject to ordinances? These are man-made ordinances, not the laws of the land. This is talking about man-made traditions, right? We're gonna get a precept to prove it. Keep going.
Verse 21. Touch not, taste not, handle not, which all are to perish with the using after the commandments and doctrines of men.
Commandments and doctrines of men. She took it as the Hebrew Israelites are telling me not to eat pork, not to do this, not to do that. So that means I need to leave the doctrine of the Hebrew Israelites. But it just said these are after the commandments and doctrines of men, not of God, right? Let's get 1 Timothy 4:1 real quick. Let's get 1 Timothy 4:1 real fast. Because it's talking about that, exactly that.
It's the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils.
In the latter times, it's going to be doctrines of devils. People going to be giving heed to the doctrines of devils, right? Keep going.
speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron, forbidding to marry.
These are doctrines of devils. Forbidding to marry is a doctrine of devil. This is what this is talking about in Chronicles chapter 2. Right? Keep going. Colossians, my bad, chapter 2. Keep going.
And commanding to abstain from meats.
Well, it says don't eat. It says don't eat this, don't taste that. It says commanding to abstain from meats. People try to make you feel bad for eating meat and try to make you feel like you need to be a vegetarian. That's a commandment of men.
That's right.
That's not a commandment of God. That's what it's talking about, right? Keep reading.
To abstain from meats, which the Most High have created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth.
This is what this is talking about. This verse that she is reading out of context and don't know what it's saying. This is what this is saying. It's saying don't get caught up. If you following Christ, why are you caught up in commandments of men when you need to be following the commandments of God? Right? So let's go back to it. Colossians 2 and verse 21. It says, touch not, taste not, handle not, which all are to perish with the using after the commandments and doctrines of men, which things have indeed a show of wisdom in will worship and humility and neglecting of the body, not in any honor to the satisfying of flesh. This is non-profitable. What these commandments of men is. This is non-profitable, right? So this is called up.
She's so out of context, man, for one. You know what I'm saying? Because if you read up, it's going into exactly what the other one was breaking down as well. Right? Talking about verse 16, let no man therefore judge you in meat or drink, respect the holy days of new moons, so on and so forth. Then it's talking about, as he was saying, and Christ taught this concept anyway. And Mark 7, yeah, where he was talking about you forbid the commandments, roughly paraphrasing, you forbid the commandments of God to keep the traditions of men. It's the same concept, you know. But this sister, she don't know what the hell going on, and that's because she wasn't gathering around brothers and sisters of understanding, man. She wasn't being taught. She wasn't being taught, man, and she done been led astray. And the Lord did that because the Lord didn't need
it. Right.
We just gotta call it what it is. The Lord just didn't need it, man.
Right.
Right.
If I can, and if I can slide in there, let me get the book of Titus 1 and start at verse 13.
Yeah.
It's the book of Titus, chapter 1 and verse 13. This witness is true, wherefore rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith.
So we have to cut this quickly and very, very sharply. Read on.
Not giving heed to Jewish fables and commandments of men that turn from the truth.
Because traditions of men and Jewish fables turn from the truth. And what is the truth? The laws, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
I'll also grab Colossians 2 in verse 8. This is in the same chapter she quoting here.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 2 and verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ.
So it is clearly showing you what it is talking about in verses 20 through 23. Traditions of men that don't go after what? The truth, that are steering you from Christ, like going to church on Sunday, saying that you can eat pork, saying that you don't have to keep the laws. These are traditions of men.
God.
And it's clearly broken down in the same chapter. But she had previously said something about context. She didn't even get the proper context for the verse she had pulled. Just saying stuff.
Right. Hey, don't be this sister right here, man. This is Sifting season. Please don't be the next one on the list to get your candle blowed out. All right. You had something, Kazawa?
Yeah, let me get one too, man. Let me get one.
God, okay.
Let me get Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 4. All right, where you finding that? You know, the brother had brought out Psalms 111, verse 10, which said, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments," right? Now bring that out for me. Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 4.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 4. For into a malicious soul, wisdom shall not enter.
So it said, for into a malicious soul, wisdom will not enter. Read.
Nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin.
Mm-hmm. So wisdom will not dwell in a body that's subject unto sin. And what's sin? Sin is the transgression of the law, according to 1 John chapter 3 and verse 4. Right? So if your body is subject unto sin, meaning you're not keeping the laws that she despised, right? That Moses wrote, then wisdom won't reside in you, meaning you won't be able to understand. What Psalms 111 and verse 10 said. Read the last verse 5, please.
Verse 5. For the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit and remove from thoughts that are without understanding, and will not abide when unrighteousness cometh in.
Right. Will not abide when unrighteousness cometh in. We know righteousness is the keeping of the commandments, which is also in Deuteronomy, which is a book that Moses wrote. Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 25. And I yield on that.
Y'all cutting up tonight, man. Y'all cutting up. Let's see what else it says. Someone.
Things that are gone after their use, they're only human commands and teachings. As a Hebrew Israelite, they probably would have been like, oh, they're actually talking about the people that aren't grafted in. The Hebrew.
That verse had nothing to do with no Gentiles. It ain't had nothing to do with none of that she talking about, man.
Israelite teaching probably would have found a way to.
What you say?
Nah, go on.
Spin that to like not include Gentiles. But when I was reading it, the Holy Spirit convicted me. He put it on my spirit, and I read it in the context.
She said the Holy Spirit.
The unholy spirit.
Right. Of Colossians condemning people like me, aka at the time the Hebrew Israelites, saying don't eat this, don't touch that, and I was like, dang. Have I?
And I want to say something too, man, that shout out to Adawan Yawal. He made this kind of plain for me, but we got to keep in mind that these are letters that's being written to the church of Colossus. If this was the case in what she's saying, why didn't Paul write this same thing to the church in Ephesus?
Right.
Why didn't he write it to the churches in Corinth? Because he's dealing with different matters that those particular churches had going on in their province.
Yeah.
These people don't be knowing the history and what's going on. They jump into Paul, right? As Peter told us in 2 Peter chapter 3, and he's leading them to destruction from their misunderstanding. She don't have a clue what's going on. She probably think she probably don't even know these epistles. Right, but I yield with that. Slakia.
I've been reading the Bible in context wrong this whole time. So yeah, when people say read the Bible for yourself, don't take it lightly. I was brought on by my ex-boyfriend at the time. He put a lot.
She said people say read the Bible for yourself, which yes, you're supposed to read the Bible for yourself, but if you ain't got understanding, you off to yourself. You not gonna read it and get understanding. Acts 8:30 says, "How can you understand except some man should guide you?" You see what I'm saying? Let's see if I pull Nehemiah 8:8.
You want to?
Yeah, come on, Cam. Nehemiah 8:8. You can't read the Bible by yourself. She admitted she was an individual. Like she congregated with IUIC for a little while, not long enough to know nothing. You know what I'm saying? And then because of her lack of understanding, she left. Somebody threw one verse at her and she took off. That since it was never in the truth, man.
Con, this is the book of Nehemiah, right? Chapter 8 and verse 8. So they read in the book in the law of God distinctly and gave the sense and caused them to understand the reading.
Cause them to understand the reading. You can read the Bible for yourself, but if you ain't got no understanding, you need to be taught.
Can we jump up to verse 1 off?
Come on, bring it up.
And all the people, verse 1, and all the people gathered themselves together as one. Hold on. She said she didn't congregate. So, and she was an individual, like, so she wasn't doing what Nehemiah is talking about right here. Right? It says, and all the people gathered themselves together as one man in the street that was before the water gate, and they spake unto Ezra the scribe to bring the book of the law of Moses, which the Lord had commanded to Israel.
So Ezra gave the understanding of the book of the law of Moses.
Was he giving it individually?
Hell no.
They was doing what?
Giving the sense to the people.
And gathering
together. Con. See what I'm saying? But I mean, this is his laws, man.
Put a lot of like misogyny into my brain. Not blaming him because, you know, I'm a grown woman, but I now understand that you have to build a relationship with Christ. That's my testimony in the church. But it was just a lot of like hatred in my heart, and just a lot of superiority and pride. I hope this edified y'all.
Not at all.
Why?
Not at all.
Hey, straight up. I get sick of hearing that people be talking about people that lead the truth. It was just so much hatred in my heart. Now, understand this once again and once and for all. Understand this. David is the only man in the Bible that's called a man after the Most High's own heart. Right? Can we pull Psalms 132 and 21? Let's pull, I think it's 139. I'm sorry.
You look like you got a little more.
Right. That's why she off, man. That's why she ain't got no understanding. Shoot.
Oh man. Hey, brother Dexter got me weak with that one, man. got a little more out of it.
Come. 139. Psalms 139 and verse 20.
Con. The book of Psalms, chapter 139 and verse 20. For they speak against the wicked, Salakia, for they speak against thee wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain.
God's enemies speak against him wickedly. So if David is a man after the Most High's own heart, that means own mind, meaning he gonna move in a way that's favorable to the Most High. He's gonna think in a way that's favorable to the Most High. So if it said, for they speak against thee wickedly, the enemies of God speak against him wickedly, and thy enemies take thy name in vain. Keep going.
Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee?
He said, don't I hate them that hate you? If these are enemies of the Most High, won't I hate them that hate the Most High?
Mm-hmm. That's common sense.
That's common sense. Now you can understand that when it's your best friend and it's some people that don't like you that you don't like, and you want them to be friends with you and you don't want them to be friends with them. You can understand it then, but you can't understand it when it's time to serve God and you are on the right side of righteousness. When you following God, when you following Yahweh Shah, you can't understand it then. These are enemies of God. She's talking about there's a lot of hatred in my heart. God hates these heathens.
Mm-hmm.
David said he hated them. Keep reading.
And am I not grieved with those that rise up against thee?
Mm-hmm.
I hate them with a perfect hatred.
We'll say it again.
I hate them with perfect hatred.
Uh-huh.
I count them mine enemies.
He said, I hate them with a perfect hatred, and I count them my enemies. This is not coming from us. This is in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
David, the man after the Most High's own heart, said he hates the people that hate God, which are the heathen. Right? If you go to Psalms 83, it tells you who the enemies of God are.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? But everybody that lead the truth always hollering about, I had nothing but hatred in my heart. Listen, if you don't understand what's coming out, this is not meant for you. This is not meant for you. Matthew 13:10 says, it's not given unto them to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to you is given. If you understand, then hey, your spirit bear witness. But obviously, this sister spirit didn't bear witness. And there's gonna be plenty more people whose spirit don't bear witness, because 2/3, the majority of our people, got to go.
That's right.
2/3 got to go. You know, you want to join the crowd, handle your business. You know, y'all got anything?
Let me get Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 8.
Okay. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3 and verse 8.
Well, grab on 1 first.
Verse 1. To everything there's a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
So there is a time and a place for everything. All right, verse 8.
A time to love and a time to hate.
Wait. So there is a time to hate. That's plain. Read on.
A time of war and a time of peace.
And the Lord is a man of war.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And he will utterly slay all those that stand against him and stand against his chosen people. There's a time to love. There is a time to hate. There is a time for war. There is a time for peace. Now you.
Yeah, anything because what?
All
right, come on. All right. Now, on to this reprobate of the week. All right. Reprobate of the week. But before we get to that, once again, right now is sifting season. All right. Don't get caught up in the rigmarole. Don't get caught up, you know what I'm saying, breaking God's commandments and get comfortable doing it. Don't get caught up listening to all these different doctrines and then it starts sounding good. You start questioning yourself. That's why we need to congregate and keep each other in line. Like the brother Mathaniel was talking about. We got to congregate to keep each other in line. You know what I'm saying? Rebuke each other when we falling short. Right? Because you're gonna end up like the sister right there, don't know nothing. Be all messed up. Right? But let's get to this reprobate of the week real quick. All right, let me share my screen. Reprobate of the week. It says a document from Diddy's ongoing lawsuit has surfaced that implies that Diddy and Meek Mill had a sexual relationship. Listen, anybody involved in this foolishness is the reprobate.
Right.
Diddy and anybody else involved in this foolishness is the reprobate. Listen, brothers, y'all letting these heathens make a fool out of you, man. Y'all letting these heathens make a fool out of you, man. Like, come on now. It's not a time for swallowing. You know what I'm saying? they trying to keep it swallowed. Listen, Stop falling for the trap, man. You know what I'm saying? You want to get that record deal, go out there and get messed up. Wake up in Diddy bed. Listen. Come on now. Hey, our people need to wake up from the sleep, man. Shoot. But hey, y'all got anything?
Shoot. Again, we harping on, if you plan on keeping the Lord's Passover with Iron Horn of Zion, please give us shoot us an email. You can see it below. The team officially Israel at gmail.com. Again, the seating is limited. You know what I'm saying? So we want to make sure that we're making the necessary accommodations for you. We have agreed on a price of $35. $35. So go ahead and get your spot RSVP so we can make the necessary accommodations. And we can't wait to spend it with y'all and prepare for the Lord's Passover.
Hey, Makaza, well, I put the cash up in the. But you about to say something, King?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's $35 per adult, and no fee for children.
Salaki.
And put that cash up down at the bottom of the screen in the chat, and that's where you can send your $35 to. $35 per adult. Children are free. All right. You had something, Asa?
Let me get Deuteronomy 23 and 17. This is just to cap off with that whole Diddy and Meek Mill thing.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 17. There should be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel.
Hey, stop being a bati boy.
Right. Let me see if I can find this real quick. What is it? Here you go. I'm gonna put it down. This is where you can send your money to. Yeah, that's the cash app you can send your money to. All right, Jamel Menace. All right. But yeah, if you haven't RSVP and you plan on joining us, make sure you RSVP. All right. All right. Anybody else got anything else?
Did you tell them the color scheme?
Oh yeah, we're gonna be wearing white and gold Passover. So you know what I'm saying. If you can't do white and gold, hey, do the best you can. Do what you can. But that's the color scheme for sure. I mean, some people may not have it to where they can put some stuff together. But hey, if you're able to, those are our colors, white and gold. All right.
Show it clothed.
God. And we want to give all glory, honor, and praise to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. And we want to say shalom to the nation.
Shalom.
Shalom.